What is up, you guys? So I'm back again with another vlog. Today's vlog is more so gonna be towards mental health. Um, so my depression started when I was about 11 and a half. There was like a death that happened, and I didn't go about it quite the right ways. I had a lot of problems with it. I didn't really know who to talk to, who to go to. My friends weren't really the best people to go to. They weren't quite exactly going through exactly like what I was going through. So I felt like I was lost and I needed help, but I didn't know how to reach out. Eventually, I ended up needing help. Eventually, I got depressed, and eventually, I started self-harming. Um, so I had to go to a therapist and, talk about all these things that I've been kind of like collecting over the years, and just kind of like baffled him out there, and just talk to her about him. Not that I got over it, but it took a lot of time for me to kind of get past that stage, past like the grieving stage and all that. What I had to do was basically focus on other things. When I was about 12 years old at the time, I'm barely getting a grasp of myself. I'm barely moving on with my life. I'm barely, starting my teenage years. Started getting into like relationship wise, and relationships weren't really the best for me at that during those times. And so, that's like adding on to the collection. That's like adding on more pain, adding on more, anxiety, more depression, and as the years went on by, it got pretty heavy, the load that I was carrying. Um, Also depression wise as well, like ever since that year, like everything just gotten worse instead of better. And so don't ever hold your feelings, don't ever hold grudges, don't ever keep things to yourself. If you have something to say it to those people. If there's something that you intend on doing, if there's something that you feel like doing to yourself, always reach out for help. That's like the best thing you can do. Reach out for help. That was the best thing that I did back in 2016 when I had first attempted, suicide and all that. I had reached out for help because I just had too much of a load that I was building up, throughout the years that I was depressed, and things just gotten worse than what they normally were. When I had went to like the mental hospital and stuff, there was other people there, besides me. I just didn't know what to expect. Like I knew what to expect being there, but I didn't know what to expect out of myself leaving. Because I was there, physically, emotionally, like, and spiritually, like I just wasn't all there. I had to really gather myself back together again. I had to start from the bottom once again, and I had to make things right this time. So it was like not like a rebirth, but to me it was more like I feel like that I restarted my life back in 2016, and things eventually started to get better after that. As soon as I started believing the things that I was doing, and that I was focusing on, that is exactly when I started succeeding, and that is exactly when I started pushing myself to do more, to do better, especially physically and emotionally. Especially emotionally, I feel like I was too much in distraught to really get better on my own. But as like I said, as things started progressing for me, um, that was when I kind of started to see a brighter future for myself, and for the things that I wanted to do as well in my life. So how I got to that point, um, succeeding wise. So this video was intended, for people who are struggling, like how I used to be, and maybe you guys are struggling like with mental illness as well. Maybe you guys are struggling with, like getting past certain things. I'm your guy. So pretty much like how I got myself better was that I started, like I said, believing in the things that I was doing. So I kind of see things, from my point of view in life, how, I kind of just went on mentally being strong for myself, and, for my family, for my friends, for my girlfriend. Basically, I had to see life from a different point of view. Normally, you guys would just see it, from your guys' perspective. How about things are going on in your lives, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether if you're stuck in this certain position that you just don't know how to progress forward. What I think about the most is, it always comes to my head if I'm always struggling with something. Look at it from a different point of view. I got that quote from like Big Hero 6. So how that helped me out is that I started seeing things not just from a negative view, but from the positive sides of things. I have a roof over my head. I have, family that are supportive. I have, some people who are friends, and like, sort of just look at the good things that you have and not the things that you want. Like, if there's other things that you need in life, pursue it. Pursue to keep achieving and pursue to keep going forward. Keep being yourself. That's like the most important thing that I can really tell you guys is be yourself, be original, be authentic. Don't let anybody change you, to someone who you're not. Don't let anyone, get inside your head and tell you that there's things that you can't do in life. Don't believe it. And, if you do start to believe it, start thinking about something else. Start thinking about, the good things that you're good at. Start thinking about, the things that just make you want to be motivated. Think about other things. Distract your mind, because your mind, when you start thinking about those bad things, it just takes over your head. So what I had to do is I had to be strong for myself. Like I said, I had to, think about all these things that I'm good at, all these things that people love about me, people love about my character. Why do people love these certain things? Let's say, you're someone who's depressed and you have a really hard time because of family, or you have a really hard time because of school. Always try to separate the problem from what it really is. So, like, let's say you have like this math equation and it's super fucking long. I hate math personally, but like, let's say if we have this super long math equation, all you have to do is just part it down bit by bit. And it's the same thing with life. It's the same thing, with strategies. It's the same thing, with situations. You have this huge situation in your life, whether if it's you're getting married, whether if it's, you're having children, or you're thinking about having children, stuff like that. All you have to do is just narrow it down to one simple thing, and once you're able to get past that, start focusing on the next project, or on the next subject, on the next topic. Start focusing bit by bit. Don't put too much of a load, in your hands. Don't try to overdo yourself. If you're an overachiever, then great, by all means. But not everyone is even capable of doing shit like that. Nobody can be multi-talented. That's why everyone is unique and different in their own special ways. So, for me, it'd be doing bits by bits. And honestly, it's a stress reliever, honestly, to me. I don't have to be thinking or overanalyzing things way over my head. It's just I have this to do. Great. Once I'm finished with that, I'll do the next one and the next one and so forth. That's one of the things that really helped me out in life, with my mental health being, is that you focus on one certain thing at a time. Now, when it comes to, like, let's say, when it comes to anger, this is like one of the biggest challenges that I faced in my life, because I had a huge problem with anger. So for me, I would get mad super quick, right? What I would have to do is find at least 5 or find at least 3 things that is able to help me release that stress, release that anger. Like, let's say one of them for me is boxing. Another one for me would be like music. Another one for me would be like filming, and then another thing would be like talking to somebody. Another thing, it doesn't all have to be aggressive things. It can be soothing things. It can be, social things. It can be even, I don't want to say media, because some people will like go off on media. You can, play video games or something, read a book. There's so many things out there that can help you out, release that stress, relieve that anger. But do not, action-wise, take it out on someone else, or take it out on yourself, or family, or anything like that. Do not take it into action. Don't take it into your own hands. what I'm telling you guys is to really, collaborate with yourself, refocus, rethink on the situation that you're in, and just kind of like breathe in, breathe out. A lot of people do that, and just kind of like rethink of the situation. you know um, don't act out on it. And if you are angry, if you are upset, take some space, go somewhere else for a little bit. The beach, the ocean can be super calming. That's something that I would recommend. If you're mad, just go to the ocean, relax, listen to the waves, in and out, all that good stuff. It's always good to, step out of your comfort zone and, challenge your mind, challenge the way that you do things. It's always good to just kind of like step out and go into the world and just kind of like put yourself in these different situations. And it's like the same thing, just challenge your mind, challenge your brain, see how much you can handle. If you can't handle that much, take a step back and then do it again. That's all life really is, to be honest. It's just like taking a step back, doing things all over again. Even if it takes time, out of your life, it's always best to, like take a step back, reevaluate your life, and then do it again. And then if you don't succeed, try again. Like there's these famous quotes as kids that we hear, but we don't hear it enough now. And I think that's where we kind of struggle, because it would be a stress reliever to like rehear those things again, whether if it comes from friends, family. It doesn't hurt to hear some motivation in your life to help you keep going to where you want to go, to where you want to succeed. It's depression is, it takes a lot. I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. It takes a lot for depression. I don't want to say to go away, but just to kind of like decrease in value, depending on what you're doing. Depression can really revolve either around weight, it can revolve around school, it can revolve around anything that makes you feel like shit. I would personally recommend just being outside. Just stepping out of your comfort zone, being outside, whether if it's going for a walk. Sometimes you just need that fresh air. Sometimes you just need a person to talk to. Sometimes you just need to, step out of, your comfort area, wherever you're adjusted to. Step out of those boundaries, try a different place to go to, try, going to a different restaurant, going to a different library, Now the thing is that I wouldn't support too much is going out often. There's a certain extent where you really have to kind of limit those type of things, because they can lead to addiction. Just a precaution. I'm just letting you guys know, don't do too much of it. Do enough, you're capable of having fun. And that's the point, you want to have fun, you want to go out with your friends, that's cool. But going out every couple days out of the week, that's where you're just kind of like, okay, I'm doing too much. I need to step it down a little bit. I need to reevaluate my life. I need to, like improve myself. So, you don't want to do repetitive things over and over. I'd say like every week, change your routine a little bit. Not too much, but every week, every other week. It takes like 21 days to, build a habit. So if you have like a bad habit that you guys do something else for 21 days, and then that's your new habit. But just to let you guys know, like I'm always here to help you guys out. I'm always here to give you guys advice. I've been through a lot of shit in my life too, relationship wise, depression wise, and also being in a mental hospital, so I know what all of this feels like. If you guys liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, or if you feel like there's certain topics that I should talk more about, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you guys want to, and I'm gonna try to be doing these videos like every week, at least once a week. I want to try to like do topics for you guys and try to like help you guys improve with your guys' lives, and everyone wants to succeed, so it's a win-win scenario. Like I said, subscribe if you guys haven't, and like this video.